Red Riding Hood and the Wolf. As soon as Wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal, he went and knocked on Grandma's door. When Grandma opened it, she saw the sharp white teeth, the horrid grin, and Wolfie said,
"May I come in?"
Poor Grandmama was terrified.
"He's going to eat me up,"
she cried. And she was absolutely right. He ate her up in one big bite. But Grandmama was small and tough, and Wolfie wailed,
"That's not enough. I haven't yet begun to feel that I have had a decent meal.
He ran around the kitchen yelping,
I got to have another helping.
then added with a frightful leer,
I'm therefore going to wait right here till little Miss Red Riding Hood comes home from walking in the wood."
He quickly put on Grandma's clothes. Of course he hadn't eaten those. He dressed himself in coat and hat. He put on shoes, and after that he even brushed and curled his hair, then sat himself in Grandma's chair. In came the little girl in red. She stopped. She stared. And then she said, "What great big ears you have, Grandma."
"All the better to hear you with."
The wolf replied. "What great big eyes you have, Grandma," said Little Red Riding Hood.
"All the better to see you with."
The wolf replied. He sat there watching her and smiled. He thought,
I'm going to eat this child. Compared with her old grandmama, she's going to taste like caviar.
Then Little Red Riding Hood said, "But, Grandma, what a lovely great big furry coat you have on."
"That's wrong!"
cried Wolf.
"Have you forgot to tell me what big teeth I've got? Ah, well, no matter what you say, I'm going to eat you anyway."
The small girl smiles. One eyelid flickers. She whips a pistol from her knickers. She aims it at the creature's head, and bang, 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 she shoots him dead. A few weeks later, in the wood, I came across Miss Riding Hood. But what a change! No cloak of red, no silly hood upon her head. She said, "Hello, and do please note my lovely furry wolf-skin coat."
The Three Little Pigs. The animal I really dig above all others is the pig. Pigs are noble, pigs are clever, pigs are courteous. However, now and then, to break this rule, one meets a pig who is a fool. What, for example, would you say if strolling through the woods one day, right there in front of you, you saw a pig who'd built his house of straw? The wolf who saw it licked his lips and said, "That pig has had his chips. Little pig, let me come in.
No, by the hairs on my chinny chin chin."
Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in."
The little pig began to pray, but Wolfie blew his house away.
He shouted, "Bacon, pork, and ham! Oh, what a lucky wolf I am!"
And though he ate the pig quite fast, he carefully kept the tail till last. Wolf wandered on, a trifle bloated. Surprise, surprise, for soon he noted another little house for pigs, and this one had been built of twigs.
Little pig, let me come in."
No, by the hairs on my chinny chin chin."
"Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in."
The wolf said,
"Okay, here we go."
and he began to blow and blow. The little pig began to squeal. He cried,
"Oh, Wolf, you've had one meal. Why can't we talk and make a deal?"
The wolf replied, "Not on your Nelly."
And soon the pig was in his belly.
"Two juicy little pigs," Wolf cried. "But still I am not satisfied. I know full well my tummy's bulging, but oh, how I adore indulging."
So, creeping quietly as a mouse, the wolf approached another house. A house which also had inside a little piggy trying to hide. But this one, piggy number 3, was bright and brainy as could be. No straw for him, no twigs or sticks. This pig had built his house of bricks.
"You'll not get me!"
The piggy cried.
"I'll blow you down,"
The wolf replied.
"You'll need
Pig said.
a lot of puff, and I don't think you've got enough."
Wolf huffed and puffed and blew and blew. The house stayed up as good as new.
"If I can't blow it down," Wolf said, I'll have to blow it up instead. I'll come back in the dead of night and blow it up with dynamite.
Pig cried.
You brute! I might have known!
Then picking up the telephone, he dialed as quickly as he could the number of Red Riding Hood.
Hello?
She said.
Who's speaking? Who? Oh, hello, Piggy. How do you do?
Pig cried.
I need your help, Miss Hood. Oh, help me, please. Do you think you could? I'll try, of course.
Miss Hood replied.
What's on your mind? A wolf!
Pig cried.
I know you've dealt with wolves before, and now I've got one at my door. My darling Pig,
She said.
my sweet, that's something really up my street. I've just begun to wash my hair, but when it's dry I'll be right there.
A short while later, through the wood, came striding brave Miss Riding Hood. The wolf stood there, his eyes ablaze and yellowish like mayonnaise. His teeth were sharp, his gums were raw, and spit was dripping from his jaw. Once more the maiden's eyelid flickers. She draws the pistol from her knickers. Once more she hits the vital spot and kills him with a single shot. Pig, peeping through the window, stood and yelled,
Well done, Miss Riding Hood!
Ah, Piglet, you must never trust young ladies from the upper crust. For now Miss Riding Hood, one notes, not only has 2 wolfskin coats, but when she goes from place to place, she has a pigskin travelling case.
Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. When little Snow White's mother died, the king, her father, up and cried,
Oh, what a nuisance, what a life! Now I must find another wife.
It's never easy for a king to find himself that sort of thing. He wrote to every magazine and said,
I'm looking for a queen.
At least 10,000 girls replied and begged to be the royal bride. The king said with a shifty smile,
I'd like to give each one a trial.
However, in the end, he chose a lady called Miss Maclehose, who brought along a curious toy that seemed to give her endless joy. This was a mirror framed in brass, a magic, talking, looking glass. Ask it something day or night, it always got the answer right. For instance, if you were to say, Oh, mirror, what's for lunch today? The thing would answer in a trice,
Today it's scrambled eggs and rice.
Now, every day, week in, week out, the spoiled and stupid queen would shout, Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? The mirror answered every time,
Oh, madam, you're the queen sublime. You are the only one to charm us. Queen, you are the cat's pyjamas.
For 10 whole years, the silly queen repeated this absurd routine. Then suddenly, one awful day, she heard the magic mirror say,
From now on, Queen, you're number 2. Snow White is prettier than you.
The queen went absolutely wild. She yelled,
I'm going to scrag that child. I'll cook her flaming goose. I'll skin her. I'll have her rotten guts for dinner.
She called the huntsman to her study. She shouted at him,
Listen, buddy, you drag that filthy girl outside and see you take her for a ride. Thereafter slit her ribs apart and bring me back her bleeding heart.
The huntsman dragged the lovely child deep, deep into the forest wild. Fearing the worst, poor Snow White spake. She cried, Oh, please give me a break. The knife was poised, the arm was strong. She cried again, I've done you wrong. The huntsman's heart began to flutter. It melted like a pound of butter. He murmured,
Okay, beat it, kid.
and you can bet your life she did. Later, the huntsman made a stop within the local butcher's shop, and there he bought, for safety's sake, a bullock's heart and 1 nice steak.
Oh, Majesty, oh, Queen.
He cried,
That rotten little girl has died, and just to prove I didn't cheat, I brought along these bits of meat.
The Queen cried out,
Bravissimo! I trust you killed her nice and slow.
Then, this is the disgusting part, the Queen sat down and ate the heart. I only hope she cooked it well. Boiled heart can be as tough as hell. While all of this was going on, oh where had Snow White gone? She'd found it easy, being pretty, to hitch a ride into the city, And there she'd got a job unpaid as general cook and parlour maid with 7 funny little men, each one not more than 3'10", ex-horse race jockeys, all of them. These 7 dwarfs, though awfully nice, were guilty of one shocking vice. They squandered all of their resources at the racetrack backing horses. When they hadn't backed a winner, none of them got any dinner. One evening, Snow White said, "Look here, I think I've got a great idea. Just leave it all to me, OK? And no more gambling till I say." That very night, at eventide, young Snow White hitched another ride, and then, when it was very late, she slipped in through the palace gate. The king was in his counting-house, counting out his money. The queen was in the parlour, eating bread and honey. The footman and the servants slept, so no one saw her as she crept on tiptoe through the mighty hall and grabbed the mirror off the wall. As soon as she had got it home, she told the senior dwarf, or gnome, to ask it what he wished to know. "Go on," she shouted, "have a go." He said,
"Oh, mirror, please don't joke. Each one of us is stony broke. Which horse will win tomorrow's race, the Ascot Gold Cup steeplechase?"
The mirror whispered sweet and low,
The horse's name is Mistletoe.
The dwarfs went absolutely daft. They kissed young Snow White fore and aft, then rushed away to raise some dough with which to back old Mistletoe. They pawned their watches, sold the car, they borrowed money near and far. For much of it they had to thank the manager of Barclay's Bank. They went to Ascot, and of course for once they backed the winning horse. Thereafter, every single day, the mirror made the bookies pay. Each dwarf and Snow White got a share, and each was soon a millionaire, which shows that gambling's not a sin, provided that you always win.